Before you spend your hard-earned money on this product, stop right there. I've literally spent hours deep diving into the MZEIBO spec sheet and cross-referencing it with the main flaws reported by real buyers just to give you the real verdict. This is a pure, objective technical analysis and data curation of the MZEIBO Sound Bar. We're cutting straight through the marketing fluff to save you hours of deciphering confusing spec sheets and scrolling through endless forums.
Welcome to Tech Verdicts Central. We're the channel that chews through the specs and does the heavy lifting of research so you can buy better and totally without regrets. We skip the flashy physical unboxings here and instead use that lack of physical props to build true research authority. I've analyzed the manuals and long-term buyer reports to give you the definitive truth on this audio unit. Make sure to stick around for this entire explainer, because what you don't know about this soundbar's limitations might literally save your wallet.
Hey, to make your life just a little bit easier right off the bat, if you already know you want to secure the lowest price from a highly reliable seller, the official and safe link is sitting right down in the description. No need to go hunting for it. Now let's get straight into the technical data and see what makes this soundbar tick.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Core technical specifications. We're stepping away from the shiny marketing promises and jumping straight into the raw, unhyped numbers that define this budget audio unit. Looking at the hardware breakdown, we've got a very straightforward 50-watt output paired with a 17-inch physical width. For wireless connectivity, it's rocking Bluetooth 5.3, and physically, the manufacturer included HDMI ARC, Optical, and aux inputs. Honestly, that's a highly versatile set of connections that'll work for virtually any television setup, and it absolutely does not demand a crazy premium price tag. Now let's look a little closer at that physical footprint. A 17-inch form factor is incredibly specific, right? It serves a very intentional purpose. This exact dimension makes the unit exceptionally practical for those tight, constrained spaces. If you're dealing with a tiny TV stand, a cramped bedroom dresser, or standard apartment living where space is at an absolute premium, well, this soundbar is engineered to slide right in without forcing you to rearrange your entire living room. Moving on to day-to-day performance. The absolute crucial point here is translating these factory specs into practical, everyday application. I mean, what does a 50-watt output actually sound like when you're just sitting on your couch on a random Tuesday night? Based on the data, it provides enough power to confidently fill a small to medium-sized living room with very respectable volume. It brilliantly bridges the gap between the theoretical numbers on the box and your actual acoustic experience.
To really understand the value here, we've got to look at the baseline. Let's be real, most of us are currently relying on those incredibly weak built-in smart TV speakers, which somehow manage to make a multi-million-dollar action blockbuster sound like it's being broadcast through a tin can. The data shows the MZEIBO delivers an immediate, massive upgrade in dialogue clarity. You are finally done playing that terrible remote control game, constantly riding the volume up during quiet conversations and then frantically mashing it down when an explosion happens.
Let's quickly summarize those functional benefits. You're getting that immediate dialogue clarity and room-filling sound for smaller spaces. But additionally, that Bluetooth 5.3 spec we touched on earlier, that translates to highly stable wireless music streaming from your smartphone or tablet, operating with virtually zero latency. It functions perfectly well as a casual speaker for background music way beyond just normal TV audio duty. Plus, having those multiple inputs means you get a refreshingly straightforward setup with minimal cables. Just plug and play.
But hold on, because we really need to look at the whole picture here. In just a bit, I'm going to show you a specific missing detail in the spec sheet that could completely change your buying decision. It's something the glossy marketing images conveniently don't focus on, but the technical data reveals it as plain as day.
So, fulfilling that promise right now, let's shift into our radical transparency phase. What is this soundbar actually missing? Look, we aren't here to overhype a budget product. To buy without regrets, you have to understand exactly what the manufacturer stripped away to achieve this super low price point.
Here are the honest limitations, pulled straight from the spec sheet and absolutely confirmed by user data. First up, there is zero dedicated subwoofer. This means your bass output is going to be noticeably limited. Action movies and bass-heavy music will simply not deliver that physical, chest-thumping, low-end impact. Second, there's no true surround sound processing. The experience is entirely stereo-focused. Third, the build quality definitely reflects the budget price. It utilizes a lightweight plastic construction that is purely functional, definitely not premium. And finally, there is no dedicated smart app for sound tweaking or firmware updates. What you hear out of the box is exactly what you get. And that brings us to the final verdict and match.
Summarizing the logic here, you really have to weigh the real-world dialogue and volume benefits against the highly predictable limitations of a budget, subwooferless plastic unit. It's an honest piece of hardware that delivers dependable value, provided your expectations align perfectly with its straightforward ambitions.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where the dividing line sits. The pros heavily favor apartment dwellers, folks upgrading their bedroom TVs, and casual viewers who just want to hear the dialogue clearly without breaking the bank. On the flip side, if you're a hardcore home theater enthusiast seeking totally immersive audio or a bass lover wanting that cinematic rumble, buying this unit would literally be a total waste of your money.
If the specs and the honest limitations of this product actually make perfect sense for your specific living room or bedroom needs, remember that the safe, discounted link straight from Amazon is waiting for you right down below in the description and the pinned comment. Using that exact link ensures you're getting the correct model from a highly reliable source at the lowest current price. Happy shopping!
I'm going to leave you with this final thought to really consider before making your decision. Take a look at your current living space and ask yourself honestly, does your TV sound simply need a practical budget rescue so you can finally hear what the actors are saying? Or are you truly holding out for an expensive, premium theater overhaul? Knowing the answer to that question is the ultimate key to buying smart. See you in the next explainer.